Not So Live from Asteroid G, stretching our limbs to reach for the higher plane of existence. I'm your host, Mike Finkelstein.
Your buddy Mike the Ghoul thinking about growing his beard in a little bit deeper as well, because that was a good look for the thing, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's fine. You and I both watched recently Fantastic Four. We didn't get to it immediately during opening weekend because it's a Marvel movie, and unlike DC, which we both care about, at this point, I don't think either of us give that much of a shit about Marvel.
Not particularly. No. Like, it's fine. I'd rather just wait till it comes out on Disney Plus in 6 weeks.
This is the thing. I was sitting here in my head going, I think the only reason you saw Fantastic Four and maybe Thunderbolts before that was because, like, let's do a podcast on it. And you're like, okay, I'll go to the theater, whatever.
You're not wrong about that. But, I mean, like, my wife wanted to see Thunderbolts. She thought it was funny looking. She likes the whole Thor comedy portion, whatnot. Yeah. I forgot that she didn't really care to see this. And I was like, yeah, we're going to go see Fantastic Four because I forgot to do it for the podcast. She goes, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, wow, my wife doesn't even care about this. Oh,
my wife didn't go with me. I saw it on my own. So
that was me with Superman. Me with Superman.
Yeah, no, my wife did go with me for Superman. She really wanted to see that, but she didn't give two shits. She didn't give two shits about this. She didn't give two shits about Thunderbolts. I'm eventually going to have her see Thunderbolts because I actually thought it was, we discussed. I thought it was a decent enough movie to see. I don't have the same opinion about Fantastic Four, which is sad, because I think the movie had the potential to get there, unlike a lot of Marvel shit that we've seen recently. I don't particularly think that Captain America had the potential to get there. Yeah, but production design, the actors, the special effects for Galactus, those were all really good.
Yeah, that was good.
I just wish the script knew what the fuck to do with the characters to make me actually want to watch them.
Yeah, it was a little troubling at times. There was some weird interactions between the characters that I was just a little confused about. Mm-hmm. Mr. Fantastic, God bless him. I love Pedro Pascal. I think he's a fantastic actor, but and I'm not trying to call people out here, but seemed to come off almost like he was on the spectrum autistically and didn't give a shit about anything but himself, but then kind of got it at the end of the movie.
It's kind of the story,
Yeah, he explained more about what actually goes on in his head, and I was like, okay, now I understand what's going on. You're not just being a dick, forgetting Johnny's this, forgetting Ben's that. Yeah, so but it was okay. It was okay. It was a solid B-, I guess, for me. But I got some issues that I'm sure we'll touch on as we go along.
So, to recap, although I'm sure everyone who cares has already seen this movie, but the Fantastic Four already exists. We didn't do an origin story. Well, we do a little bit of one, in a montage, but we don't really do one. Not like the other movies have, where they dedicate an entire first act to it. This is just this is what happened. Now the Fantastic Four exist. Yay! And then the emissary of Galactus, the Silver Surfer, who's female in this continuity, which I have absolutely no problem with.
None whatsoever. Nope.
Comes down and lets them know that Galactus is coming, and they have to worry about Galactus because he's going to eat their planet, and for reasons, just cause. And so they go and they try and battle Galactus out in space and fail, and then they come back home and have to come up with a plan to defeat Galactus and fail, and then at the last moment somehow succeed.
Yes, pretty much the standard superhero fare. That's your recipe normally. Yeah.
Yep. So the thing is, I don't think there's necessarily a problem with the plot for the most part. What Galactus's thing, notwithstanding, we'll get to spoilers on that in a little bit. I don't think there's necessarily a problem with the plot. It's a standard Galactus plot. Emissary comes down, Fantastic Four fight him. He's a Fantastic Four villain, even if he is more of a Marvel villain in general. He's a Fantastic Four villain too. So they deal with that. And I didn't have a problem with the fact that we skipped parts of the origin story, necessarily. We did the same thing with Superman, most recently. They skipped the origin story. I guess that's fine. My problem is that it's similar to Superman but different. By shortchanging the origin story, we miss all the meat of the character growth from their origin story, so that by the time we get to this, they're all basically fully evolved characters whose only problem is Galactus going to eat our baby?
Yeah,
like some giant dingo.
That's good. That's
Space
good. I
dingo.
Like that. Space dingo coming to eat your baby right now. He's just sending you a heads up real quick. Yeah, you're right. I tried to get past that a little bit while watching this, like just trying to understand, like, okay, this is the, it's Earth 843 or whatever it was. Like, this isn't like a true, like, yeah, exactly. Like, it's not a timeline that's supposed to make sense. So, like, you're already watching a superhero movie. Suspend your disbelief as you will and whatnot. But like, you do need to tell things in a way that makes sense. Like, I didn't know who Mr. Fantastic was till Act 3, pretty much. I just thought he was a dick. Ben and him are supposed to be best friends. Didn't really get that for most of the movie at all. Johnny, like, the unsung hero of the movie, almost, in my opinion, like, almost did more than Mr. Fantastic, even though he's so brilliant. And, I'm not going to smash the mom, but she did her part amicably, and she was fantastic, I guess, as well. But like, to your point, like, I didn't feel for these characters. Like, Ben is supposed to be lonely as the thing and whatever, but like, even like the kids love him, of course, but like, you didn't really get the loneliness that he's supposed to feel to make him grow into accepting who he is as a character, and like, whatever. But like, I feel like that's a part that needs to be in these kind of movies, right?
I think you're right in the fact that the movie didn't know what to do with its characters. The Thing, as you just mentioned, is one of them. In the comics and in the other movies, and a major part of his plotline for decades now is the fact that he's battling the fact that he's both human and monster, and everyone sees monster, and whenever he finds someone that loves him for being his current form, it's a big deal for him. I never got once that he actually felt he was a monster. Like, the movie...
Nope.
Like, oh, he's a little lonely, but then he sees a girl who's actually interested in him for him. It doesn't mean anything when you haven't spent a lot of time building up the fact that he feels like a monster, which, we're going to touch upon the other characters in a second, sure, I think speaks to the fact that this movie had to have been 3 or 4 hours long when they finished filming it, and they cut it down to the point where it feels like there's no movie left.
Yeah, we go on little tangents on this podcast time. I'm talking like, in depth about movie length and how like that can really make a difference here. And like, I think this is a movie with like a true conflict of identity. Like, it was too short, yet I don't think it benefits from being another 30 minutes longer, kind of thing. Like, you get
not
maybe
the 30
a little
that
bit
we
more.
got and compared. No, it needed a different 30 somewhere in there.
Yeah. Like the, I don't know, the whole middle of the movie just felt like, it just felt weird. Like, I get they're going out there, and that's like the whole thing, meeting Galactus, the surfer telling him they shouldn't have come and all that. And like, I'm like, oh wow, we're just gonna jump right into this gigantic being that's consuming these planets. And I don't know. I felt that the second act was extremely weak, and the weakest part of the movie for me. And I don't know. That's really got to be the part to draw you in if you're not going to give us backstory and really hash us out on the characters. And like, I'm being nice because I liked this movie a little bit and I didn't hate it, but like, it definitely had flaws that like, Marvel, you just haven't seemed to learn from your own lessons the last 5-6 years, right?
No. Well, and I think you're right in this fact. I do want to get back to the characters, but still, I think you're right in this fact is that the middle act is the weakest. And it's absolutely not necessary. Yes, we get to go to a planet and see it get devoured. But we already knew a planet was going to get devoured. I don't necessarily know that we had to see another one get devoured. Yes, we learned from Galactus that the space baby they've given birth to, which is a horribly ill-defined thing. Cosmos powers. Okay, sure. What does that mean? It means that when his mom dies at the end of the movie, spoilers, he can revive her afterwards, which was a totally hollow thing.
It made that sacrifice just really mean nothing, right?
Nothing.
And like,
but like, everything we learned from that Galactus thing was either something that the Silver Surfer already told us, or that the Silver Surfer could have taken one look at Space Baby and gone, oh, Galactus will want this. That's a 5-second conversation. We don't need an entire act dedicated to them going out into space poorly and then flying back in nonsense goings. Like, I think you and I had this conversation. When they flew out into space to fight Galactus, I thought that was going to lead to them going into the main continuity with the Thunderbolts and, like, drag Galactus with them or something.
Yeah.
I thought that was what was happening. That didn't happen. Instead, there's no reference to time dilation. Somehow they have faster-than-light space travel, and they just get there instantly. And then, despite running out of fuel and not having the power to do it, they miraculously make it home in no time. It
with
doesn't make
3
any
out of
sense.
6 engines. Like,
Yeah, none of that made any sense to me. It was just bad writing.
yeah, it was a plot convenience of, I don't know, using
Yes.
the neutron to slingshot themselves through space time when they've been traveling for how long faster than light. Like,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
None of it was ill-defined.
Yeah, and you got, like I said, you suspend your disbelief in a superhero movie. You're watching a damn superhero movie, but like your science can't be sound halfway of the way there, and then on the way back you just say fuck it. It's like watching
Well,
Game of Thrones season 8 all over again.
I watch a lot of Star Trek. I'm used to bullshit technobabble. Like, oh, we
Mhm.
have to stop this alien virus that's on the skin of our ship. Let's fly into the outer corona of a star. Can we do it, Captain? Well, if we talk to engineering and they do the right thing on the phase coils. Like, bullshit technobabble. And yet,
Yeah.
that kind of shit was still better than the lazy writing we got for the space adventure in the second act.
Yeah, it was just, it was weird. Like,
It
it
was
started
bad.
out kind of cool, like the docking of the ship into the thing. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, I like
Yeah,
that. Like,
yeah.
you have a thing to bring you somewhere. Like, I kind of like
If
that
it
aspect
meant
of it.
anything.
Yeah, like, is it making a
Yeah.
wormhole? Like, what's the science behind that? We'll just never touch on it. You'll just have to guess, and then we'll destroy it before you even can care about it. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. All
We
right.
would have been better off spending that amount of time off in space.
Yeah.
Instead, just having them monitor space for when Galactus shows up and doing more plot on the planet to build the characters because all of them are shortchanged.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, the thing was the one that bothered me the most. So, they established early in the film, in the montage, that Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, took his 3 best friends, who were also the other 3 best scientific minds on the planet, with him into space because they were the only ones that could do whatever bullshit space experiment they were going to do that accidentally gave them their powers. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
You establish they're all scientific minds. Now you need to use them as scientific minds. Sue doesn't do anything. The Thing doesn't do anything. And when Johnny says he's going to study their languages of the Silver Surfer across the 26 albums that they recorded of her stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and like they all act incredulous, like, but Johnny's dumb. Why would he do that? He's supposed to be one of the 4 fucking finest minds in the planet. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, I mean, Ben, like, I guess he's good at, he's a good wheelman, I guess,
Yeah.
and
He's a pilot, yeah.
Sue Storm is
There.
invisible and a good mom? Question
There.
mark. I don't know. I love Johnny though. I think Johnny got a
Yeah.
raw deal, and I think he was probably the best character out of the 4.
He was the best character. He was charismatic. He was well written. He did something, which is more than I can say for anyone else in this movie, including Mr. Fantastic. Sue is supposed to be the heart of the group, I think, and she gives the lamest speech I ever heard at like the end of the second act.
Yeah, like, she walks out there and gives like this, rendition of like your typical Pullman Independence Day speech, bring everybody together kind of move right there, and like,
we will fight Galactus on the shores. We will fight Galactus on the space. But it's terrible. It's a bad speech.
Yeah, and she's like, I will not trade my baby for this planet, but I will not trade this planet for my baby. I'm like, okay, you can't just. It brought me back to like the line from Dungeons and Dragons, the most recent movie, where it was like, you can't just take something, reverse it, and have it sound like good.
Yeah,
and that was one of those instances, right?
It's Mystery Men with the Sphinx.
Oh man!
to find the power in yourself, you must find yourself in the power. Like that kind of dumb bullshit.
Yeah. Like you're like Magic 8 Ball kind of shit that you can get anywhere, right?
Fortune cookie nonsense. That was her speech, and like Mr. Fantastic. I feel like even though the movie tried to paint Johnny as the idiot, the movie didn't know what to do with a hyper intelligent person except make him autistic and have him fail at everything.
Yeah, like he really came off as like an asshole half the time.
An idiotic asshole. None of his plans worked.
Yeah, and I get it. Like he said like, this is what's in my head all the time. Like I can't stop thinking of I get it. You're damaged. But that doesn't give you the right to do like what you're doing, or it doesn't give people the right to not explain it, I guess, then in the movie is what I'm getting at. Because I'm still confused.
And my problem is, and this is I hate to quote Bill Maher, because I think that guy has become a giant fucking asshole. But way back in the day, when Charlie Sheen got in trouble with one of his wives for sleeping with prostitutes and doing drugs, Bill Maher said, don't be mad at Charlie Sheen for being Charlie Sheen. And this, I feel like this applies to Reed Richards, because
Yeah.
Reed is a super intelligent dude who can't shut off his brain for his emotions. Sue
Mhm.
married him. She had to fucking know who she was marrying. Don't get mad at Reed Richards for being Reed Richards, okay?
There was like a couple different instances, right, where like she looks like she's like, "You're thinking about the baby." He's like, "Well, I mean,
I
like,
can't
how do
not. I mean, everyone in the fucking audience was going, so if we sacrifice the baby, like,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
supposed to be the smartest man. He should have been there first, girl. Come on.
I know, right? Like, if you got there, how do you think he didn't get there?
He's been there for fucking hours, man.
He
Come
was there
on.
before the baby was born. Like, come on.
Yeah, no, the movie does not handle its characters at all, which is tragic, because everything around them is really good.
Yeah, the set pieces were great.
Yeah.
The science, when it worked, was really cool. Like,
Really cool.
you know, the teleportation thing was very cool. And like, I dug that like almost Mr. Wizard kind of explanation of it.
Yes,
Like, if I could
yes.
take an egg and move it over here, like
Yeah,
I could take this and move this over here. Like, I kind of dug that, right?
I watched Police Squad recently, and I kept expecting that every time Sue walked into the lab, like, it'd be like the tech lab there, where Mr. Fantastic was just talking to someone named Timmy, go, now, if we put this ice in the bath over here, what's that gonna do, Tim? Like, it was that kind of vibe, and I kind of liked that.
Yeah, I dug it. I dug it. The little robot, actually, upon my rethought, he might have been the MVP of the movie. Like, that robot was...
I think he's originally from the cartoon way back in the day, because they couldn't use the Human Torch, because Human Torch was in a different cartoon, and now it's just Herbie, I think is what it's called, and now he's just in the movie. And I liked his inclusion. I thought that was great. Like, again, very cool things, and all the things are low-tech, but high-tech, and a very cool 60s retro modern vibe. Yeah. The production design was fantastic, to use the word of Mr. Fantastic, and the Fantastic Four. Aha! Yeah. And even Galactus looked great. Now, I felt the final battle with Galactus was way too truncated. It should have gone on longer. It should have been harder for them to win. And, like, if someone's gonna sacrifice themselves, they should fucking sacrifice themselves.
Yeah, and, you know, let's talk about, like, real quick, like, hit on the whole... Like, I'm not sure who he was. Like, the person who was in charge of the Subterranea, like, I thought for a hot minute that was Haley Joel Osment. Yeah, like, but I don't think it was. Like, I'm not sure who it was. I didn't understand why you wrote the Underminer from Incredibles into this movie. Like, I didn't get it.
Well, Incredibles is basically the Fantastic Four without a license. So, I get it. I absolutely get it. That, like, he was probably a character there. I mean, even Superman had a Mole Man group back in the day. That was just a standard character. But you aren't wrong. If you don't know the Fantastic Four's deep lore, all you're going to do is sit there going, why is a fucking Incredibles character in this goddamn movie? This makes no sense.
Yeah, and you're right. Like, that was a pretty standard 50s, 60s trope in comics. Like, you know, the Mole Man, the Swamp Guy. Like, you pick, like, spooky looking things or whatever. Like, I get it, but it just seemed weird in a Marvel movie, right?
It does feel like Marvel's chasing trends instead of setting them, and they used to be setting everything. So, and this leads me to a thought here of this movie came out 2 weeks after Superman. And much as I wanted to like this movie a lot, and I did in places, I wasn't not entertained, but I definitely wasn't entertained like I thought I was gonna be, you know? But it's this thing of, I watched Superman, and then I watched this, and I'm not gonna argue that either of them are perfect movies. Neither of them are. They're both messy, but they're messy in different ways. And the thing is, for all of Superman's mess, which I felt held it back a little, what I liked in there was the positivity, the characters, the storyline. There, a lot of it worked so well together that even with the mess and the things that I probably would have changed, I have hope for a sequel.
Right.
Fantastic Four is messy, but I don't like any of the things. Like, I don't like the characters. I didn't really care that much about the story. I don't, and I know that the world doesn't matter because they're already going to jump into the 616 universe and ditch this other world behind. So I don't even know why we're investing in this Earth. Oh, they saved the Earth. Okay, cool, but, like, we're never going back there again, so what the fuck?
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed our one stop here, and, you know, we'll never see these people again.
Now, they're going to get a Baxter building over in 616, and they're going to be fine. It doesn't make that much sense to me that we invested all this time here if it doesn't matter. So, like, everything in Superman mattered, even if it was a mess. Nothing in Fantastic Four matters, and it was still a giant fucking mess.
Yeah, like, movies need to take a risk every now and again,
This is not a
especially
risky
like
movie.
this is not a risky movie. This felt like at times like it almost wanted to go there, but then was like, shit, we got to pull it back. We can't
Yeah,
we can't do that. You know, like
yeah.
we're Marvel.
The thought I had while watching the movie was this was sanded down to the point of barely being a film anymore.
That's a really good way to put it. Like, I we've talked several times about like I'd love to see like the not maybe quite the director's cut, but like what the guy really wanted to
The
put
longer
forward
cut,
as a movie.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it, and that's it. I don't know if it helps this movie. Like you're gonna get more cool visuals. You might get a little bit more. I could have used more Surfer in this. She was kind of cool. I liked her backstory. I liked how Johnny kind of deciphered what happened and then she explained how it went for her. Like I dug that. I thought that was kind of cool. But like again, like she's not in it enough for me, and
Yeah. No
as
one.
quick as she came, she goes. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird movie to use not only to launch a different part of MCU continuity, but to also say that these are some of our most important characters that are going to be coming over not only into Phase 6, but presumably Phase 7 afterwards. Like, you don't introduce the Fantastic Four if you're not planning to use them. They're not the Eternals. You can't just ignore their existence after their one film, you know?
Right. Yeah.
It's like introducing them is like introducing the X-Men. You have to expect that they're going to keep showing up after this, even if this particular movie kind of was a flop.
Yeah, and they're their own worst enemy. Like, I mean, this, in all generalness, this is going to make over $500 million. That should be a successful movie, and it's going to fail because of what they've done to their own brand, and it's really their own fault. Like, I don't know. It's
we're
weird.
definitely going to touch upon that in a follow-up podcast because I think this is going to be a two-parter because this is already getting long. But I want to focus this one primarily on like Fantastic Four and what it means for right now. It's just it's such a weird fit for everything. It doesn't fit into the continuity. It doesn't tie into Thunderbolts, which you would think would be the most important thing to do. Their vehicle was seen at the end of Thunderbolts, and we don't know how it gets there.
Yeah. They don't even leave you off at the end of this with like an expectation of where it's going.
No,
like I don't know. It's just confusing. I gotta bring up this point. Like one of my biggest problems with the movie after the fact was like at the end of the movie in the third act when they're having the fight with Galactus and they're trying to trap him in the trap or whatever. This planetary being that is eating planets and is just going to walk right into this little triangle with a thing that you can clearly see when you have Mr. Fantastic's wife, who makes a plane invisible when she's pregnant.
Yeah,
she can't touch that and make that invisible and try to like fake the guy out. Like I don't know, like that right there was when I was like, okay, this movie has now hit a point where I'm enjoying it, but I got problems.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me in that regard of like, why does Galactus go down to get the baby? The Silver Surfer can phase through anything. She's faster than even Johnny Storm, and they have no way of damaging her because they can't even blast her apart in like the space-time vortex that they try to. She survives anything. Galactus is massive and has a ship that devours planets so he can eat like the baby food goop that comes out of the tubes afterwards. I don't know.
The juicy nougat in the middle. I don't know.
Yeah, it was poorly defined. He's like Lavos, but also not, and I don't know. Like when
nice callback there. Nice callback.
When the parody on the Tick makes more sense than the actual guy we're getting, you know?
Yeah.
I get the vibe that they want to try and explain how he can devour planets when he's just this like really big dude. But he didn't.
He's very hungry.
Very. I mean, you know, it's a long distance between planets. He's got to pack up. Got to get himself a lunch, a little bento box of dirt and grime. But why'd he come to the planet? I know he wants the baby, but that's the dumbest plan. By going to the planet, he gives them what they want without getting anything for himself in return that he couldn't have done by sending the Silver Surfer.
The satisfaction of a job well done? Like, question mark? Like
no sense to me. She can just grab the fucking baby, take the baby into space. Baby's cosmic baby. Baby can survive space.
Yeah, like she literally almost took the baby when they were giving
Yeah.
birth to it in space. Like almost there. It was right there.
That was literally her one job. He should have
Yeah.
just sent her to do it again because she could travel faster than he does anyway. And then he
Right.
just eats the planet afterwards. None of the last act, as cool as it was, and don't get me wrong, Galactus looks fantastic.
Yeah, visuals were awesome.
Makes
True.
any fucking sense.
Mhm.
I would have believed it better if he just landed on the planet, got down on his hands and knees, and started eating dirt. That makes more sense to me than what we got, you know?
You're right. Like, I mean, the problem with, like, you know, baiting him, it's the classic '60s villain thing, I guess. Like, you're either going to catch him monologuing or they're going to walk into your trap because they feel too good about who they are. Like,
And he basically did, yeah.
Yeah, and
a little bit of both, honestly.
You almost got a little bit of both. Like, you got him monologuing in Act 2, and that helped them get away and all that. So,
and then he shows up for like 3 minutes of action, and one of Marvel's biggest villains is then knocked through a portal and may never be seen again. I don't question mark.
I don't know. I feel like we've tried to do Galactus a few times over the years, and every time he gets like 5 minutes of screen time, and that's it. So,
yeah,
we'll
he deserves better. He deserves a big crossover movie like the Avengers ones that we've been getting. He needs his own Secret Wars or Doomsday or something like Avengers Planet Eater or some shit. Like, that's what we need. And this movie wasn't it, and this movie's never going to be it. And I don't know that even Marvel has a clue how to handle this character on screen. Like, third time's not the charm, clearly.
No, I mean, what world do we live in where Doomsday has gotten ample more screen time and development than Galactus? Like, and DC can't get anything right. So I don't know, man.
Oh, I have more faith in DC right now because Superman was at least a delightful mess.
Now I do, for sure. And we talked about that. Superman had some really great elements in it. It really did. And some really choice acting that was quite good. And the acting in this movie was okay. I thought Pedro Pascal did the best he could. I really do. I thought Johnny acted fine. Ben, whatever, Sue Storm short.
They were wasted on a movie that didn't deserve them, I think, is the problem. Even Silver Surfer, this is... So, to touch upon this for Mr. Fantastic before we wrap this up, you say that he sounded like an asshole and autistic and didn't really seem to like come into his own until the third act. I think a lot of that is because Pedro Pascal could tell that the character was not well written the way he needed to be, and he needed to sound smarter than he is. He wanted to do that classic 1940s Atlantic accent, you know, that clipped tone and the fast talking and everything that made people sound more intelligent. I think Perception is a lot of this. He has a very flat, very broad accent in this movie, and if they'd let him do the accent he wanted to, even saying the same lines, I think the performance would have been better.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a tragedy that this film came out the way it did, because I wanted to like it. I'm giving it every chance I can to find something good to say about it, and the best I can say is that from a special effects and production level, this is the best looking Marvel movie we've gotten.
Yeah, that's very true. It looked really good, and the whole retro '60s vibe of everything, and the futuristicness, like you touched on it, the futuristic retro look really it was sold very well, and it was really well done. But that was the best part of the movie. If you go for the visuals, great. You stay for the plot, have fun.
Yeah. It's sad. Yeah. Oh well. We will continue our Marvel discussion in the next podcast. For now, this has been Not So Live from Asteroid G, lamenting the fact that the 60s are over. We can no longer wear our hair in a beehive. I'm your host, Mike Finkelstein.
Your buddy Mike the Ghoul gonna hopefully get to the 70s to wear his bell bottoms to get the heck out of this universe.
Bell bottoms. Woohoo! Woo! And get some fog hat playing. Yeah. We will see you all next time.